The Chinese Boxer, known internationally as The Hammer of God, is a martial arts Hong Kong film written, directed, and starring Jimmy Wang. It's a good movie, really good movie. Would I recommend it? This is like a movie for like martial arts type enthusiast. So if you're really not into martial art films like that, this one's kind of like a skip. This film was recommended on the Quentin Tarantino Pure Cinema podcast. If I can give my 2 cents, this film is basically just a movie of cool action scenes and pretty interesting story, but something about it just didn't catch me for the longevity reasons. Quentin loves this movie. He loves the fight scenes. He loves the history of Jimmy Wang. In his film Kill Bill, one of the stunt coordinators' dad worked on the Chinese Boxer, so he has that connection of it.
One of the things that would happen in martial art films and kung fu films is the classic fights that will happen where either the hero goes to the bad guy's dojo or goes to the restaurant, the bird cage carrying restaurant that the bad guys hang out at, or the nightclub or the casino that the bad guys run. But the first, and I think arguably the best one ever done, is the one that Wang Yu does in Chinese boxing. And it's amazing. I have an interesting story about that. Is when I was in Australia dealing with Ewan Wu Ping. We were walking through the fight scenes of Kill Bill because he was doing the Matrix sequels, and on his days off, he would get together and I would walk him through the fights, what I wanted. I had them all written down, and then we would walk him through, and he would, well, how about this? How about that? And I go, how about this? We would talk through, but then I would show him classic fights, like on video cassettes, and I would bring the video cassettes with me, and I would show him classic fights that I really liked. Not like, hey, let's rip this off, but I want you to. I want to show you what I was inspired by. I want you to see it through my eyes. He did a bunch of stuff. I wanted to see where I was coming from, so I'm showing them different ones. And so naturally, I show them the big casino fight in Chinese boxing, and then there's that moment before they fight where they all circled around Wang Yu. The camera's just kind of panning in the circle, and you're seeing everybody. There's a guy swinging the chain. And so Ewan Wu Ping is watching the film, Wu Ping's watching it, and all of a sudden Wu Ping goes, oh, whoa! I go, what? He goes, that's my dad.
I'm in. Oh, wow.
His dad was one of the stunt guys. Hey, that's my dad.
That's great.
The film is basically this. Jimmy Wang Yu plays a Chinese boxer, and I say boxer religiously, whose dojo is invaded by neighboring karate and judo Japanese thugs. What they basically do, for the first 20 minutes of the movie, we see a Japanese judo thug enter the school, challenge the master, get defeated, and him saying, alright, I'm gonna bring my Japanese karate friends here and we'll defeat you all. Studying Chinese boxing, and I say religiously, again, Chinese boxing, because they really do just karate chops and kicks, which I know it's not Western boxing, like boxing we know, but like, come on, this isn't even Chinese boxing. Chinese boxing is even straight punches. There's no chops in it. When you're about like 30 minutes into the film, we see the Japanese karate thugs come back to the dojo and they just start murking the Chinese boxers. That whole dojo just got whooped. The Japanese karate guys just start plucking eyeballs. And it's pretty funny too, because in the movie they start talking about karate as this evil, martial art, and this like deadly martial art where like it could kill people with one karate chop.
Karate is aggressive, and basically it's very hostile. It's directed only to one end, and that is to kill. Or if not to kill, then to cripple. Karate expert's hands are fantastically strong. He can chop through wood or even crush up rocks with his bare hands. But it's crude, and certainly not a sport.
Teacher, could a boxer beat a karate expert, assuming he had the right training?
Yes. If he had great agility. And also, his hands, too, would have to be like iron.
Hey, there's a place for karate in movies, and there's a place for karate in reality, so I respect it all.
Now that lead leg side kick for Stan. Beautiful boxing in the USA. That front leg side kick, that's what I'm talking about. Back and
Jimmy Wang Yu's the only guy to survive. His girlfriend sneaks him away. He's recovering about a week in the hospital, and then his pure motive from then on is to get revenge on the Japanese thugs. This film was a big inspiration to Bruce Lee's Fist of Fury, so I guess you can kind of see the similarities if you've seen that movie and you've never heard of this movie, even though Chinese Boxer came out before Fist of Fury. At this point, we see Jimmy Wang Yu's character start training like Rock Lee with weights all over his body.
Can I help you?
I need 200 pounds of iron pellets, and also a big metal cauldron to put the pellets in.
Which I don't know how it's going to make him a better fighter, but just more quicker against the karate guys, but I guess. Jimmy Wang Yu starts training and he ends up donning the Corona mask, and probably one of the best fight scenes in cinema history.
All right. You may as well come quietly, or you won't get out of here alive.
Which is the casino scene where Jimmy Wang Yu is gambling and the karate thugs surround him, and it's kind of like a pre-Fist of Fury where everybody around him tries to attack him, and Jimmy Wang Yu uses his Chinese boxing to defeat them all.
All right, you men, get him!
Really good. I'd say like you can maybe skip the whole movie, but you can go on YouTube and find a clip of that fight scene and the opening fight scene with the Japanese thugs. The casino fight scene. Recommend it. He ends up beating them, and then he goes into the snow, Lady Snowblood style, and starts a katana fight with two other Japanese swordsmen, defeats them.
So you don't know me? You know me now?
Huh? So it's you. I thought we'd killed you. Well, we'll certainly do that today, right?
And then his main goal is to fight the main two bosses under the bridge at the end of the movie. I'm skipping a lot of stuff. These guys are just bad to the bone. The Japanese karate guys are bad, and then Jimmy Wang Yu ends up defeating them by like finger punching him in the stomach, and his blood explodes. And there's just a lot of chaos in this movie. Just my taste. It's not for me. If you're a real martial arts enthusiast, you're going to like this movie. If not, it's going to be a skip. You can live your whole life out seeing this movie. You won't miss much. Would I recommend it? Again, if you're a martial arts enthusiast, you're going to have real fun with this movie. Other than that, this movie is like it's a solid 7 out of 10. I'll give it that. Let me know what you thought, and I'll see you next time.